It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today with TSWA Hall of Famer Maurice Patton. Here's Chris Yow.
Good Monday afternoon and welcome in to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton, intern 2 Lawson Smith, back with us on this Monday, and JP, also back with us on this Monday edition of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, coming to you from the Lee Company studio, the Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 1017 FM. Happy to have you guys along with us on this early week drive home. And as you see on the West 7th cam, the sun is not out. It is a little dreary of a day.
A little gray.
But it's okay. That's, that's to be expected sometimes. It's just what you get. So I will say that today has been a heck of a day, as I have driven to Pulaski and about halfway back up to Columbia, only to have to turn around and then go back to Linville and then to the interstate and then back to Columbia. Not a good day.
It's muy mal.
You're going to end it well, though, here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
You're ending on a high note today.
At least.
Yeah, there you
go.
The highlight of your day
Please stop saying
is
that.
with the three of us.
Oh, man. What'd you guys do this weekend? Anything?
Lawson does not want to talk about his weekend, particularly his Sunday evening.
It's been a rough weekend all around.
All around?
Mm-hmm.
Not just Sunday evening?
Not just Sunday evening.
Oh, okay.
Had to say goodbye to my girlfriend as she goes to Washington, D.C., so don't know the next time I'll be able to see her. So it's been an emotional weekend for me, to say the least.
But you will see her.
Yeah.
So
it's just...
Come on.
How long is she going to be gone, Lawson?
She's getting her master's degree.
Okay.
And so she'll be gone for living in there for about 2 years.
Oh.
So...
Yeah, that is a sad day.
Yeah.
At least you have somewhere to, visit D.C.
Right?
if you want.
That's right. Have you been there before?
No. But,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
At my early graduation party, my grandmother gave me a present and saying that she'd cover my first airline ticket round trip to Washington, D.C. and back.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Yeah, so that's got that to look forward to.
We're turning that frown upside down just as we
Exactly.
speak.
Choose wisely. Don't burn it too quick.
I know.
Make it so. Okay. Cool.
That is good. That's a good day.
I didn't do much of anything.
You know what you didn't do? You didn't watch Tombstone again.
I sure didn't.
This
did not.
guy.
You're right.
JP, we're going to have to just strap him into the chair.
Still hasn't watched it, huh?
And there was a whole Tombstone reference thing on Twitter, and it was like, hey,
You weren't supposed to see that.
Well, you know me. I see Tombstone, and it just I just kind of gravitate toward it. It is what it is.
So who's your Huckleberry?
That's just my favorite movie of all time. Kate.
Were you still on the show when he actually took a flash drive from me and downloaded?
I don't think I was. I think I missed that.
We were in Tullahoma. Yeah. That's when we were.
Is that okay?
at
When we were down there for the District AAA?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
I actually have it downloaded to a
On a thumb drive? You put it on his
And I
computer?
He put it on
on
my
a thumb drive for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still hasn't
So
watched it.
and I still haven't watched it.
Do you still have the thumb drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't throw anything away. Ask Jody. Certainly not thumb drives.
It's killing me.
Yeah.
Killing me. JP, did you smoke any meat
I
this
should
weekend?
probably watch Tombstone instead of the Braves.
Anything but the Braves.
Probably more
Yes,
fulfilling.
that would be good. To answer your question, no smoked meat. However, did a little shrimp boil / bake. Did it in the oven instead of a pot with the sausage,
This guy.
the Kaneka sausage, the potatoes, corn, shrimp.
I'm still waiting for this whole hog thing.
I'm too. Yeah, we're working on that. That's something you can't just.
Throw together.
Yeah.
It's not like he didn't give us 6 months notice.
All right.
I mean, he and Wes were talking about this
Months ago.
months ago. We had this all planned out, and then all the world came tumbling down, I guess.
Well,
it's unfortunate.
You had to go have a baby.
Hey, man, life's a dance. You learn as you go.
And we are thankful for that. We love little Charlie.
Hey,
She's something.
I need to step away just
Sure.
a second because I think we.
Megan. That reminds us, we have a great show for you because we have coming in studio with us in just a moment, brand new Columbia Central girls basketball coach Megan Moore. She's standing outside in the.
Yeah, so I don't need to step away after all.
All good.
Yeah.
All good. We will talk about the Braves and the Padres, which will unfortunately not feature Ryan Weathers this week. Very upset about that.
Yeah.
We'll visit with Chip Walters. That's exciting. We'll talk ACC football. C.L. Brown from the Raleigh News and Observer will join us to talk some Coastal League football, ACC. NHL, Preds protection list is out, and we got about half of it. Some interesting names.
So here's what's funny. So, as you know, Jody is rehabbing from total knee reconstruction about, 3 weeks ago, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a segment on one of the local news stations last night about the protected list. And she's like, so how many of those did y'all get? And I'm like,
because she's listening to the
because she's
show.
actually listening to the show these days. Yeah.
Hey,
so,
Jody.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, we do like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The thing about it, though, I wasn't expecting that Ryan Ellis trade, though.
Well, yeah, that kind of threw
Yeah,
things.
that kind of messed things up a bit.
And we weren't sure if Tanner Janot was going to have to be protected or not, right?
Honestly, I'm happy that they protected him.
Well, I mean, if they needed to, then yeah. We
But-
weren't sure if he had to be protected, is that?
That's true.
yeah, that's the
Yeah. So,
But they left Yonkirk open, so we'll talk.
and that's probably who they'll lose. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
We'll
in
talk
the show.
plenty about that later in the show. Before we get to the rundown, I want to tell you a couple of stories that are on our website. Has clearly been pretty big news, according to our clicks.
Yeah, they kind of hit some hot spots apparently. So, did we talk about this late Friday? The basketball portion.
We did mention. I don't think we mentioned it on the air.
Okay. All right. So, as we mentioned, we're getting ready to have Megan Moore on in the next segment, the new girls basketball coach at Columbia Central. The old basketball coach at Columbia Central, Joshua Bugg, we learned Friday evening, has taken an assistant coaching position at Hillsborough High School in Nashville. So there's an article up on the website there. We spoke at length with one of my favorite people, Cherish Stringfield, the girls basketball coach down at Hillsborough, who played at Vanderbilt and coached for 3 years at Centennial before she took that position. So got some comments and thoughts from her on that addition to her staff. And then on Saturday, we posted an article on a couple of Columbia Central football assistants, Josh Taylor, who has been defensive coordinator, and Montana Cairns, who has been coaching on the defensive side of the ball, heading down, up to Spring Hill to join Ben Martin's coaching staff there. So as shifting continues following the week-old dismissal of Jason Hoth as Central football coach. And like you said, both of those got a few eyeballs on them, so we like to see that.
Yeah, I think it's big news for Ben Martin and Spring Hill to have a couple of pretty solid coaches joining his staff. So, congratulations to those guys who are going to go over to Spring Hill, and make sure that you mark your calendars for that Spring Hill Central game if it wasn't already
If it wasn't already must-see, not TV.
Friday night.
All right, certainly is now. Speaking of coaching developments, spoke briefly with Johnny Littrell, the athletics director over at Columbia State earlier today. Their women's soccer coaching search is coming along. They had some preliminary interviews virtually last week. They've narrowed that down to 2 finalists who will be on campus this week, and they anticipate / hope to make a decision by the end of the week. So
There you go.
one last thing we need to mention before the rundown. The Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association inducted its Hall of Fame 2020 class over the weekend. And it's been a long time coming, literally, because they had 3 previous ceremonies canceled because of the pandemic. This was supposed to have taken place in April of 2020, and then I think last October, and then this past April. And they were finally able to get those inductees recognized at a luncheon on Saturday over in Murfreesboro. Obviously, longtime Columbia Daily Herald sports editor Marion Wilhoit was part of that class. So congratulations to him and his family as he went in posthumously. Also, Nashville administrator Clint Parnell, most recently at Good Pasture, Turner Jackson, an administrator and longtime wrestling coach over at Bradley Central, Milan football coach Jeff Morris, Brainerd volleyball and basketball coach Carolyn Jackson, and a handful of others were officially recognized. So congrats to all of those well-deserving individuals, and it's unfortunate that they had to wait, but they finally got that done. Apparently there will not be a 2021 class. They're just going to postpone that at this point until next year. So
Just skip it.
yeah. So
All right. I'm scrolling through Twitter, and at Go Firehawks, UT Southern Athletics,
okay.
tweeting out a picture of their gym floor that is
Redone?
completely unpainted. It's just
okay.
It's just
Kinda
hardwood.
the calm before the storm
so
kind of thing, huh?
I'm real excited to see what that's going to look like.
That'll be
So,
interesting.
All right. Before we get to break number 1, let's give you today's rundown.
This is the rundown.
The Monday Rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy, taking appointments today to tour the facilities, 931-388-5731. That's 931-388-5731, or visit zioneagles.org.
In Major League Baseball action over the weekend of local interest on Friday, Milwaukee defeated Cincinnati 11-6. It was the Tampa Bay Rays 7, the Braves 6 in 10 innings. The Giants defeated the Cardinals 7-2, and the Cubs defeated the Diamondbacks 5-1.
On Saturday, Cubs again over the Diamondbacks. That was a 4-2 decision. In 11 innings, the Brewers outlasted the Reds 7-4. It was the Cardinals 3, Giants 1, and the Braves blanked the Rays 9-0.
On Sunday, it was the Brewers 8, the Reds nothing. The Cardinals edged the Giants 2-1. It was the Diamondbacks 6, the Cubs 4, and with a chance to win the series, the Braves come up short against Tampa Bay 7-5.
In minor league baseball action, the Nashville Sounds had a tough weekend. They fell to Louisville 3 consecutive times, 11-1 on Friday, 12-0 on Saturday, and again on Sunday, 4-2. In NBA Finals action, Milwaukee takes a 3-2 series lead with a 123-119 win on Saturday night. And Nashville with a hat trick within 6 minutes. So an MLS record for the fastest hat trick in a 5-1 win over Chicago. So, well done.
Hani Mukhtar? Is that the name? Am I
I
pronouncing
don't
that
know
right?
how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Not even going to try.
All right, there we go. Today's Major League Baseball schedule, again, of local interest. The Marlins take on the Nationals at 6:05 today on ESPN+. That game is at National Park. I guess
Yes.
Okay. The Padres and the Braves begin a 3-game series at Truist Park at 6 o'clock tonight on Valley Sports South. That game can be heard on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM FM. Pre-game beginning at 5:05. At 7 tonight on ESPN, it's the Cubs at Busch Stadium against the Cardinals.
There you have it. That's your Monday Rundown, brought to you by Zion Christian Academy on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. When we return, Megan Moore will be in studio, new Columbia Central girls basketball coach. So stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Talking high school sports, here's Mo and Chris.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Live from the Lee Company studio, 26 minutes past the hour here in the Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 1017 FM. Happy to have you guys with us here as we get ready for 5 o'clock on Monday, which is always a good time. It's always a good time. Unless you're here with us in this studio, because we don't have the ability to, partake in the 5 o'clock somewhere
Yeah, we have to postpone
We have to wait.
ours. 6 o'clock is,
We have to wait.
yeah, 0
It's like
hour
the time I saw the wino eating a grape. I'm like, man, you got to wait. It's my Mitch Hedberg joke for the day.
here. Wow.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Hey, yep. Joining us now in studio as we act goofy, and we're excited. I feel bad for her because Megan is now just surrounded by a bunch of unorganized and really.
Everything that she would not want as a basketball coach. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
Untalented,
Yeah, we're not.
unorganized, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
We're not the group.
Yeah. Maybe you can coach us up like you're going to coach up the Lady Lions this year.
I don't know what y'all have going on right here. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, it's okay. We don't either. Megan Moore, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for dropping through, fresh out of teacher orientation. Hate to see you leave CCCHS, but as a two-time Centennial parent. But what was it about this situation with everything that's gone on that drew you to it?
I grew up in Murray County, and so I knew I always wanted to come back. And then whenever Kevin Eady took over as principal, I've known Coach Eady for 25 years. And so I knew that it just kind of felt like it was time. Gave him a call, interviewed for the job, and now I'm back, and I'm excited.
Now, how did you know him for 25? Did you play for him?
I did.
Where at?
Travel ball, so AAU. Oh, yes.
You know, had we known this weeks ago, we probably would have had a better feel for how this was going to go, you know. I mean, do you feel like that connection played a part in the way this went?
I mean, definitely, because he obviously knows my background, but at the same time, he was probably, knowing him, he was going to make sure that I was going to be the right person for the job. So I know, in like the trust that I have in him and what he has in me, he would not have picked me and the committee would not have picked me if I was not going to be the right person for his school and for these girls especially. So the fact that, you know, he felt right and the committee felt right, you know, coming in and working with him and then getting these girls, I'm excited.
You know, most first-time head coaches don't get to step into situations from a talent standpoint like you're stepping into.
Right.
A couple of big-time seniors.
Absolutely.
And Josie Parks and Janiyah Riley coming off an 18-win season last year. I mean, any first-time head coach is going to be excited, but you got to be especially excited regarding the talent level that you're walking into over there.
Absolutely. I got to meet the girls on Thursday and watch them play pickup a little bit. And, you know, I knew the two that I was coming into, and I know the role players that are there, but they're also, you know, stepping up and wanting to be scorers as well. And then I saw the young talent that they're, I know I looked over at my assistant coaches a couple of times and was like, y'all, I have goosebumps because of the talent that we have. And so, yeah, I'm excited and very blessed with like what I'm walking into. So I'm excited to like continue to build on the success and like the work ethic that these girls and the assistant coaches obviously have already put in, and then going into a new district. So
a new district that you've got some familiarity with.
I am familiar with Williamson County.
Yeah.
That's always nice to have a little familiarity and no more Coffee County. So there's that. So that's always nice.
Well, that'll be interesting because that was a pretty senior heavy team as well. But yeah, you don't have to deal with them at all, so that's a good thing. Visiting with Megan Moore, the new girls basketball coach at Columbia Central. Former javelin thrower Megan Moore.
Yes, sir.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, they don't let high school students do that. So
With good reason, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a big yard dart, right? Lawn dart?
Yeah.
It's just a giant lawn dart.
Yeah, a lethal weapon if you run into it, yeah.
You got to be careful.
So, Spring Hill graduate.
Yes, sir.
Played basketball at Spring Hill.
Yes, sir.
Go to Austin Peay. Fall into field, as Ronnie Siegenthaler at Brentwood used to tell me, it's track and field. So,
Yeah.
Take folks through that. I'm fascinated by that.
So my testimony is obviously different than like, what a lot of people have coming out of high school. My offers were out of state. I chose to stay home, which my mom was not, sorry, Mom, excited about at the time. But, I think she understands that, like,
she wasn't excited about stroking that check, huh?
yeah, no, she was not excited that, yeah. So, but I mean, now, like, we're obviously okay because she knows, yeah, like, God had his own path, for you. And so, but, it was still a blessing because I knew Austin P was where I wanted to go. So I could stay close, but still just a little bit further away. And it was funny because the track and field coach, excuse me, he saw me throwing a football and asked me to come out. And so I did shot put, and javelin became my main thing. I did place in the OVC conference, in the tournament. Championships my sophomore year, and then I was just randomly shooting around in the gym one day, and then one of the assistant basketball coaches walked up and asked me to try out, and I did, and then I was walk on my junior year, and then I was full ride my senior year.
That's unheard of. Seriously, like that is a Disney movie type stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just want to go to school. And just kidding.
And I just want to go to school, and all of a sudden I play not one but two sports.
It's like,
and earn a scholarship.
That's insane.
That's crazy. But I mean, that's got to be something that you can relate to your kids, as as recruiting may not necessarily be going the way they want it to, or something like that.
Absolutely. Because it's definitely about the well-rounded. Because too many times, been in coaching, however many years now, we see athletes that, only have a couple of offers. And so they pick the school based off of basketball, which that's amazing because, you definitely want to get your education paid for. But at the same time, how many athletes go into the school and they don't like it? And then now they want to transfer out, or there's other factors that are going on, and it's just not the right fit for them. And so mental health is definitely a big thing too. And so I can definitely attest to and relate to all of the kids as far as the recruiting and how to recruit and get them where they're going to be a good fit. But also it's about, if they want to play at the next level, we'll get them at the next level, whether that's basketball or if it's, whatever other sport might be their main sport. Javelin throwing, yeah. I mean, I can help you with that one too.
When's the last time you picked one up?
Oh my goodness, 2006. Yeah, they don't. I don't think they just really let people go in and buy them, so I can go in my backyard and practice. So I don't know how my 6 and 3 year old would do with that.
You mean Jones and Lang doesn't carry javelins?
No, I don't even know if they would be technically allowed. I mean, maybe a weapons store I would have to go into.
That's a good question. You would probably have to have a license for that.
Absolutely. But just hand it to an 18-year-old, coming out of high school and college, like, hey, we're just going to let you go ahead and start throwing this.
Yeah. Practice up.
Yes, there are 37 other people standing around in this big giant field right now.
Yep.
But
go ahead.
Just throw it out there and try not to hit anybody. Okay, thanks. Next. Hey, Megan, switching gears back to obviously what you are taking over. It's July 19th, and you just learned that you are going to be the head girls basketball coach at Columbia Central. You just saw the girls for the first time working out, last week. What confidence do you have in the staff that has helped them get through the summer so far, Megan Kilburn, Carden Virgo, et cetera?
Those two took over and didn't stop. Whatever those kids needed, they love those girls. They are so knowledgeable of the game. So they really didn't lose any traction other than they were just, okay, what direction are we supposed to go based on whoever this next coach is going to be. But they did right by those kids, especially with COVID, the previous year and them not getting a summer, especially for Janiyah and Josie, they needed to make sure they had a summer. And so they were never going to give up on them. So they gave them everything that a head coach would have come in and done anyway. Stacked the schedule, practiced them. They still had open gym. At any point in time, even after a dead period. If the school was open and they were going to be there, they were saying, here it is, you can come in and work. So those two have been vital and that's another part of the best situation that I'm coming into, because it's not just the players that I'm getting, it's also the coaching staff that's already there. So we're really ready to jump in and work.
With that said, Megan, you coming in as late as you are, obviously a lot of coaches come in with their system. You know, how much do you adapt what you're doing to what they have done versus whatever your philosophy might be, offensively, defensively, that kind of thing?
I definitely want to know what works for them and what hasn't worked. Looking at how guard heavy we're going to be, that's definitely going to restructure. I'm not going to come in and say, this is my system, this is my philosophy, this is what we are going to run offensively and defensively. Like, I want them to be successful. Whatever we're going to be great at, we're going to be great at it. And then we're going to work on those other things that we're going to potentially need. But the basics of what we need right now, they're definitely there.
Getting up and down and shooting the three.
Oh, we're going to get up and down that floor. And we're going to play some defense.
I mean, and just the fact that you have so many talented kids who, if you play defense the right way, you can get layups all day on the other end. So.
And they can get them.
Yes, yes. I've watched their speed. Yeah, we're going to get after it. If we're going to be able to run, 7, 8, potentially 9 in the way that we can potentially play defense, well, that's going to be our focus, is going to be on the defensive.
Morgan and Anaya Mulholland are going to turn folks over.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We can't either. We're excited about it and looking forward to the first basketball practices, which
Do you have a schedule?
Late.
Did you inherit a schedule, or are you
Yes.
putting a schedule together?
There is a schedule. I can email it to you.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not even. When does basketball start? Last week of October?
November 1st.
So
First official
November 1st,
practice.
that's when you can practice. Okay. Middle school starts a little earlier, I guess. I never remember. I can't keep up with the TSSAA calendar.
I'm just trying to get through football, bro.
Right? Football's still right around the corner. But this is exciting. With Spring Hill's basketball job open, were you ever thinking about coaching at your alma mater?
I mean, I think it would be disrespectful if I didn't say, like, Spring Hill has my heart too. Right. I want the success of Maury County. And, I want Spring Hill to be successful. I want Central. So even being over in Williamson County, I still kept up with Maury County sports, especially girls basketball. So I want them to be successful, because I remember, back in the day, whenever they would have the McDonald's shootout, I mean, you were having to pre-buy tickets, even to the girls game, to be able to come in. Right. And so why would I not want it to get back to that? But ultimately, like, I'm a relationship person. And I love everybody that's over at Spring Hill, and I have great relationships there, but also have great relationships that are over at Central. And Coach Edie is one of those that I've had trust in for a very long time. And so it's full circle to be able to come back. He was my coach, and now I get to come back and I get to be his coach for his program and his school.
That's fantastic.
It really is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
It's been enlightening. And as Chip Walter says, throwing the javelin beats catching the javelin.
There was never one of those.
I can think of some folks that I'd like to see try it. We'll leave that there.
Oh, man, we will. Megan Moore, new Columbia Central girls basketball coach, in studio with us today. Again, thank you so much for taking some time with us.
So much.
And we are looking forward to getting the season started.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Braves Padres, sounds, and, of course, this damn Braves history. So all of that and more on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day when we return to the Lee Company studio right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as awarded by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or snack shake. And for the low, low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Covering the teams you care about, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, with Mo, here's Chris.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you from the Lee Company Studio and WKOM 101.7 FM, the Front Porch Sports headquarters right here in Columbia, Tennessee. Happy to have you guys along with us as we are 16 minutes to the top of the hour. It's almost 1 down, 4 to go. Super exciting. Real quick, want to pay some bills and tell you about Jason Egley. Jason Egley is proud to be your local farmer's agent. Give him a call at 615-250-2723, 615-250-2723, and get smart about your coverage. If you are an educator or a teacher, Jason's going to give you a discount. So make sure to give Jason Egley a call. Lawrenceburg native, Jason Egley. Gotta love him. That's 615-250-2723. Again, get smart about your coverage and call Jason Egley, your local farmer's agent.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Mo, we got to talk about the Atlanta Braves. And the elephant in the room is the bullpen at this point. Everything else has been so good despite all of the reasons it shouldn't be. It's been so good.
You know, we were involved in a Facebook conversation yesterday afternoon with friend of the show, Casey Patrick, who's with Main Street Preps. And for everything that this Braves team has dealt with this year, Mike Soroka hasn't thrown a pitch. Ronald Acuna is gone. Travis d'Arnaud is gone. Huascar Inoa is gone.
Marcell
Ozuna is gone. They are still in a position that they could win the NL East if they could exercise the bullpen.
Here is the craziest thing of all. The one portion of this team that is back from last year with no weird issues is the bullpen. That's it. Every piece other than Mark Melancon from last year's bullpen is still there. Every one of them. What's different? What has changed?
I don't know. And Tom Glavine made a comment during yesterday's broadcast. I'm not saying the talent isn't there.
It's obviously there. We've seen it.
And that's what makes it so irritating to watch, and hopefully we won't have to see him again for a while. AJ Minter go out there and give up 2 hits and 2 runs in the span of 3 batters.
Well, all we did was bring up Sean Newcomb. So I don't know what.
And I'm not sure what changes either. But I mean, at least we don't have to. At least we don't have to watch him do it.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't understand. Look,
I mean, you can't trade all of them.
I get.
And if you do, I don't know who you get. So
I completely.
They have to perform.
I completely understand the thought process of lefty and righty and all that bullcrap. It typically works. But if you're going to throw Jesse Chavez for 1 pitch and then pinch hit for him, why are you throwing him for 1 pitch?
To get out of the inning?
Keep him in.
Well, then you got to bat him.
Okay.
and
he's not any worse than the other 4 people at the bottom of the lineup. And I'll take that just to get him back to the bump.
Yeah.
I'll take that out.
That's fair. Jeff Schultz from The Athletic this morning. If you're wondering whether manager Brian Snitker is out of answers, this is what he said when asked how he planned to get his bullpen going.
Oh. He shrugged. He's like, oh.
I don't know, honestly. This guy's just getting outs, honestly. I don't know. Guys we're using have been guys who've helped us to be where we are. I don't know. Honestly. I really don't know.
You think he knows?
I don't think he knows.
I don't know what to tell him.
And he doesn't know what to say.
And there's nothing he can say.
And that's, I would imagine it's got to be frustrating for him. And that's, I've told you on these airwaves, I'm not a huge Brian Snitker fan, but I'm not ready to put the shortcomings of this bullpen on him because he doesn't know. Literally, he does not know. Where can I go to get outs once my starters come out? And he's got no clue.
To the rest of the starters. We're just going to have to throw them. Smiley coming out in the 6th for 4.
Hey, who's throwing on the side today? Just tell him to wait,
We'll get him in later.
Yeah, or he can throw his side session after the game if we don't use him. I mean,
I got nothing.
I got nothing. Yeah.
The Atlanta Braves bullpen is the one part of this team that is generally intact from last season and was so good last season.
They were nails.
I mean, AJ Minter went 4 innings in a game.
I saw a stat since yesterday's game. The Braves are 40-10 in games that they. Is that right? Am I getting this right? No, they're not. 40-10 in games that they led after 6. They were 27-0 in those kind of games last year or something. I mean,
I can tell you this, as far as that goes. In games that the Braves are leading by, the bullpen has lost 22 games.
They're 11-22. The bullpen is.
If they were 22-11, this team is 7 games up in the NL East. If they were 22-11 in games that the bullpen has lost, which means they blew a lead or a tie in 33 games.
Yeah.
They have had an opportunity to win or hold 22 times.
They've not.
They've failed. And a 33% closing rate on that is not going to be conducive to a winning relationship.
No, not even with Jacob deGrom on the IL. No.
And so the Braves, unfortunately, now continue a really tough stint of opponents after they should have swept.
They should have swept. They really
the Tampa Bay Rays.
Because they should have won Friday night and they should have won yesterday, but they wound up dropping 2 of 3 to a pretty good Tampa Bay team.
Did Minter get the loss in both of those?
They certainly did yesterday.
I think he did. I think he got the loss in both of those.
Good Lord.
No, he may not have got it lost, but he gave up the tying run in Friday's game.
No, Chavez took the loss in 10.
Yeah, because he pitched the 10th.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't explain how this team has been so good at times and then so bad at times. And
Minter got a hold Friday despite giving up a hit, 2 walks, and an earned run in 2/3 of an inning.
I saw a stat earlier that A.J. Minter at home had a 1.75 whip and a 6+ ERA, and on the road he has a 1.1 whip and under 2.5 ERA on the road. So
don't pitch him at home.
I guess that may be the answer.
Bring him back up for the road trip.
I don't know otherwise. So now we got the Padres. The Padres are in town, and this is a team that's, they're right there in the thick of things for the playoffs.
Well, they just scored 24 runs the other night.
The thing about this team is, much like Atlanta last year, at some point they're going to hit the ball. At some point during the game, they're going to hit the ball. Now, whether it's, in the first inning or the 8th inning, they're going to hit the ball eventually.
Which also makes it imperative that you do so.
Either you do or figure out
how to keep them
from doing it. But I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. Not with Tatis and Machado in the middle of things. I mean, they're playing some really good ball right now. I mean, they come in here 55-41. The Braves are 45-47. Again, tonight's game is a 6:20 start. Pre-game starts in about 10 minutes on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM-FM. Kyle Muller coming back up from Gwinnett to make the start for the Braves. This is nuts. 1-2 with a 3.45 ERA.
1-2.
3.45. That's it. Yu Darvish 7-3 with a 3.09 goes to the bump for the Padres.
All-star Yu Darvish.
Made a couple of trades over the weekend. Jock Peterson, Stephen Vogt.
Jock Peterson made his presence well known.
He announced his presence with authority.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
with a 2-run homer in Saturday's game.
In the loss ultimately, but no, they won that game.
Yeah, they won that one.
My fault. Yeah,
that was the 9-0.
Yeah,
drilling.
Yeah, so
that's the thing. The Braves just got to score 9 runs in every game.
Seems so. Just take the bullpen out of the mix.
Score 9 or 10. Make sure none of your situations are high leverage in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and you're good. That's how you win.
Wow.
That's the recipe.
Touki Toussaint scheduled to go to the bump for the Braves tomorrow. It'll be his first major league start of the season, coming off some injury issues.
And he's been fantastic.
At Gwinnett? Well, wherever he's been. Yeah.
Everywhere he's been this year.
Well, and thank goodness. Maybe somebody will come up and give this team a spark. I don't know.
Be nice.
You want to do Braves history or you want to do sounds real quick?
Yeah, let's do this damn Braves history.
On July 19th, 2009, Josh Donaldson's bases loaded.
19. 2019.
What did I say?
9. Josh
On
Donaldson
July
did not-
19th, 2019, Josh Donaldson's bases loaded base hit scored Ronald Acuna Jr. with the winning run as the Braves walked off Washington 4-3. The late heroics made a winner of Luke Jackson, who blew the save in the 8th as he gave up a 2-run game-tying home run to Victor Robles. Atlanta improved to 59-40 with the victory. Those were the days.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
By the way, I wouldn't mind getting Josh Donaldson back. Just going to throw that out there.
Well, that would be interesting. So you'd put him at third, you'd put Riley in left?
Probably.
And roll?
Probably.
It's worse, thanks.
Well, I mean, the Twins have gotten nothing out of it. He's been hurt since he got to Minnesota.
Well, and he had been hurt pretty much for the last 5 years, except here.
Except that 1 year in Atlanta
where he got paid, which makes you wonder if Alex Anthopoulos has stolen Nostradamus' crystal ball. The Sounds are off today.
Thank God.
They needed after one. This weekend, they needed a rest.
Sheesh.
They open a 6-game road series Tuesday in North Florida against the Jumbo Shrimp of Jacksonville.
I love that name. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
That's them.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I don't think it was on my list, but it's a good one.
It is a good one.
Sounds, though, looking really good these days.
40-25.
40-25, and somebody said the other day that the between Arcia and Vogt and somebody else that the Braves had so many former Milwaukee players, it almost like they were the Milwaukee Braves.
Milwaukee South, yeah.
They were the Milwaukee Braves.
Yeah.
It was like, well, I guess that could make sense. So there you go. But yeah, this Sounds team is playing well. I hate that they're not going to get a playoff this year, but as we talked to Jeff Him, they are getting 10 extra games, 5 of them against Columbus. So that's exciting. So they'll start tomorrow. They get the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Is that in here? Is that in?
No.
It's
in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Good. All right. Well, we're going to take a break because we have Chip Walters on the other side, as we do each and every Monday. Get a chance to talk to the voice of the Blue Raiders. Plenty to talk about, too. They got a couple of big commitments and some other stuff.
He's got some interesting stuff going on, too.
And the tweet I sent you, we'll ask him about that. Next hour, we've got NHL. We've got ACC Coastal Division football. So stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
This is Maurice Patton with Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM, Columbia.
An apology in court for the Capitol riot. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The apology came as Paul Hodgkins of Florida became the first rioter to be sentenced on a felony charge.
It took a lot of courage to do what he did today. He hasn't equivocated. He's admitted what he did was wrong. He's come forward. He said, hey, I am wrong. I need forgiveness here.
Defense attorney Patrick LeDuc had argued for no prison time since Hodgkins was not accused of assault or property damage, but he got 8 months in prison after pleading guilty to obstructing an official proceeding. U.S. District Judge Randolph Moss says Hodgkins played a role in an assault on democracy that left a stain on the country. Hodgkins breached the Senate chamber carrying a Trump flag, but told the court today he made a foolish decision and that if he'd known the way it would escalate, he would never have ventured farther than the sidewalk of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Avenue. The former police chief of a D.C. suburb could become the new Capitol police chief. Sources tell the Associated Press that Tom Manger, the former chief of Montgomery County, Maryland, is the choice, but nothing official yet. President Biden says his economic plan is built for the long haul, urging Congress to pass more of it.
We've gone from 60,000 jobs per month to 60,000 jobs every 3 days.
And he's sticking with the view that a spike in inflation is temporary.
You suggested the right way to shake this inflation was, listen to this, another $3.5 trillion in spending.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, meantime, concern about a variant-driven COVID rebound rattling the markets, the Dow dropping 725 points. In Los Angeles, the bomb squad getting the blame for a homemade fireworks explosion that injured 17 people last month. The LA police chief says technicians miscalculated the weight before detonating those explosives in a contained chamber. 5 members pulled off field duty while the investigation continues. America is listening to Fox News.
When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. With Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. Don't just hope your perfect candidate will find you. Indeed's hiring tools help you cut through the noise to hire faster and smarter. Indeed Instant Match provides a list of quality candidates whose resumes are on Indeed the moment you post a sponsored job. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Indeed.com/Fox. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
A federal judge says Indiana University can require vaccination, even though the state banned mandates.
Indiana passed a law this spring barring state and local governments from vaccination mandates, and public universities are not a part of that mix, so says a judge in South Bend who rules against a request by a group of students who sought to block Indiana University from coronavirus vaccine requirements that students say violates their constitutional rights. The judge saying that evidence so far shows that IU has pursued a reasonable policy in the interest of public health. Several states have or are pushing legislation to ban public schools and universities from mandating virus vaccines.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Ben & Jerry's gets a taste of both praise and backlash after dropping some sales in the Middle East.
Ben & Jerry's says it will stop selling its products in occupied Palestinian territory, calling it inconsistent with its values, adding it recognizes the concerns shared by its fans and trusted partners. In a statement, the brand explains it will not renew an agreement with the licensee that manufactures its ice cream in Israel and distributes it in the region when it expires at the end of the year, but plans to stay in the country through a different arrangement.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin, the Israeli distributor, was accused of selling only in Jewish settlements. The world's richest man prepares to blast off. Amazon's Jeff Bezos will ride in his Blue Origin company's spaceship tomorrow.
I am excited but not anxious. We'll see how I feel when I'm strapped into my seat, but we're ready. The vehicle's ready. This team is amazing. I feel very good about it, and I think my fellow crewmates feel good about it, too.
That crew includes the youngest and oldest space travelers, an 18-year-old Dutchman and female aviation pioneer, Wally Funk, who's 82. Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
If reporters can break big news every day, why can't your team seem to hire one person in a matter of months? Make slow hiring old news with Indeed Instant Match. When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. In fact, with Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. Don't just hope your perfect candidate will find you. Indeed's hiring tools help you cut through the noise to hire faster and smarter. Indeed Instant Match immediately delivers quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description. You can even invite them to apply right away. And according to Indeed data, candidates you invite are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than those who only see it in search alone. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/Fox. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Eli Gold, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. With TSWA Hall of Famer Maurice Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome back in. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton, JP Plant, pushing buttons today. Intern 2, Lawson Smith in studio, helping us out with the video. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or at sm-tnsports.com, you are watching via Lawson's video. So thank you, Lawson. We appreciate it. As you see the West 7th cam as well. Super excited for.
It's looking pretty gloomy out there.
It's 5 o'clock on Monday, so there's no such thing as it's a stormy Monday, but there's no such thing as gloom at 5 o'clock on a Monday. Because Monday's over. Well, it doesn't matter what it looks like outside. We're going to the house. We're gonna eat some steak.
Steak on a Monday.
I did that last night.
Yeah,
living right.
Well, it's
can't hide much.
We have two options. We have chicken or steak tonight, and I defrosted the steaks. So.
Okay, all right.
Guess we're gonna go with steak.
I was gonna say, why not both? Go outside of the box. Do a little bit of steak. Do a little bit of chicken.
Because I'm not rich, and so I have to have 2 different nights.
I know, but like cut them in half.
Spread it out.
Cut them in half, or portion it up.
This guy.
Throw some
I don't
rice. Throw some rice in there.
Spoken like a guy who doesn't have a job that pays for his food, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, I've done it.
Because I've been there.
I'm working on it.
I know you, and you're doing a fine job, Lawson.
I've done the chicken and the steak with some rice and the egg, and did some
like
fried
the hibachi.
Rice.
Yeah, the hibachi grill.
And I did that one time, so we might do that. I don't know.
Yep.
I think Chip was reminding us he's a
alive.
I was. And here I am with the hoi polloi of steak on Monday night. My goodness.
I know, right?
I just thought you didn't want us to forget you. Joining us on the line is Chip Walters, the voice of the Blue Raiders. Good Monday afternoon, Chip. I'm sorry. Good Monday evening, as we learned last week.
Does it officially go from afternoon to evening at 5 o'clock?
5:01, apparently. I did not know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, good Monday evening.
Well, and back at you all too, and understand we had a huge rain over here today. I understand you guys did not.
We got a little. We got a little during that Megan Moore segment, but it had stopped by the time she got off the air, so she was able to get to her car without getting wet. So that was a good thing. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me. While I say I was watching / listening a little bit when she was on. And wanted to throw a shout out to Coach Lee Claiborne. I saw he was online as well when I was, and he, Coach Claiborne has had a couple of challenges, and trying to be good to himself health wise, and it was good to see him on there, and just want to give him a shout out, and also while I'm thinking about it, I don't know whether you guys touched on it, but congrats to the greatest prep editor of all time, Mr. Marion Wilhoit, who was inducted into the TSSAA Hall of Fame over the weekend, and glad to see Ms. Dorothy was able to be there to accept for it.
We did touch on that in the open, and so you just throwing Hall of Famers out there left and right there with Coach Claiborne and Marion, and we're glad to hear that Coach Claiborne was on and checking us out, and hope he'll continue to do so as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chip, big weekend for you, Parrot Head.
Yeah, I went Friday night. That was about. I think that's. I can't remember exactly. I think that's about the 5th time that I've seen Mr. Buffett, and I had those tickets. I bought them actually probably late 2019 because it was for a show that was scheduled in May of 2020 that got pushed back to May of 2021, which about 6 months ago they pushed to May of 2022. Then about 3 months ago said, whoops, let's back it up a little bit. And they brought it to July of this year and added 2 other shows that took place 2 weeks ago.
Goodness.
So it was fun. And good night down on the banks of the Cumberland River.
Chip, I believe you were also partaking with the show with my co-host on Friday mornings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Roxy Snow and I, we
yeah.
go back to high school days, and we kind of sometimes we'll fill in for each other when we need somebody, when we need a seat filler.
Those are good friends to have.
Yep, it is. And but yeah, it was a good time. And I'm trying to think. We were talking during the all the big major hits that the only thing I think the only thing he didn't play that I expected to hear was Pencil Thin Mustache, but I know where I can go find that. So, but everything else he did.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good weekend, Chip. Big news coming out of Blue Raider Dumb, with Reed Blankenship again making the Bednarik watch list, among other things for the football program.
Yeah, and I'm kind of going a little bit of a different order and just kind of go team back to a group of players and then to Reed a little bit. But the conference announced their official preseason predicted order of finish, or preseason poll, whatever you want to call it. And I think, a lot of times they are preseason polls can be a little meaningless, and probably in this year coming out of COVID and the first year of the transfer portal, there's probably never been a year when they're more meaningless, because nobody knows who anybody's got. I guess they know, but how are they going to fit in and all that kind of stuff. But Middle's picked in about the middle of the pack in the East. Marshall was picked to win. Florida Atlantic picked second. Western third. Charlotte middle. FIU, Old Dominion in the East. UAB, UTSA, Louisiana Tech, Southern Miss, Rice, North Texas, and UTEP in the West. But I don't think you need to go to sleep on this Blue Raider team with some of the new pieces they have. But in addition to the order of finish that came out today, the conference, this is the first time I remember this. They have put out a preseason watch list, and basically they have chosen 5 players from each school to be on the watch list. And Middle has 5 players. Jaron Pierce, senior wide receiver, he's fun to watch. Jordan Palmer, offensive lineman, offensive center for the Blue Raiders. He anchors that. Jordan Ferguson, defensive lineman, has an opportunity to have an outstanding junior year coming up. And Reed Blankenship, the senior safety, and also in special teams, punter Kyle Ulbrich, who is just fantastic. Ulbrich is also on the watch list. And you mentioned Blankenship. For the 3rd straight year, he has been named to the Chuck Bednarik Award watch list. And that's a pretty good defensive award. It goes to the College Defensive Player of the Year. Bednarik played at Penn, and I didn't remember that, but I do remember seeing him play, and especially a lot of video of him when he played for the Eagles. And just, when you think of him, you think of toughness, and Reed Blankenship, fits in that mold pretty well.
No question there. Hey, as I'm scrolling through Twitter earlier today, I noticed that Middle has gotten a pretty big commitment in the last week from Fayette Ware 3-star quarterback Kyle Lowe.
True, and don't know a whole lot about him other than what you read right there. But it's you're seeing. I'm kind of I get to be part of the the every day that goes by. I'm more of the old guy. Sometimes get off my yard, sometimes not. But we're seeing kids commit earlier and earlier, and are are offers, are they really going out for the class of 2024 or 2025? I guess they are, but Fayette Ware, that's obviously did not play last year. So, here they're going to be coming back to play this fall, and we hope everything goes as planned with all that, because the city of Memphis didn't play last year. Shelby County Schools didn't. So, it's a very intriguing name right now. But, when you look at, okay, where does he fall? You got Bailey Hockman, who's going to have a couple of years left. And so, they're trying to continue to stack that up to where they've got pretty much of a seamless transition as time goes through there.
Yeah. Kyle Lowe is, again, out of Fayette Ware, 3-star quarterback, the grandson of Woodrow Lowe Sr., college football Hall of Famer.
Played in Alabama?
Who played for Alabama.
Wow, okay, I did not know that. I believe his dad is the coach at Fayette Ware. So, Kyle's dad, not Woodrow's dad.
Trey, I guess that's his cousin, is the starting quarterback at Southern Miss. So
okay,
there's that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's got some. He's got some pedigree to him, and
got some pedigree, got some bloodlines, and yeah, you're right. So that's a good one, and that's an area where obviously new offensive coordinator Brent Dearman has a lot of West Tennessee, Arkansas ties from his days with Bethel, Arkansas Tech, and also, just throughout his career when he was at Auburn and Kansas and those places. So that's good to see. If you don't follow Brent Dearman on Twitter, you need to do that. He's a good follow and just gets a ton of reaction from from high school coaches and high school players and things like that. So it's kind of he's a bit of a Pied Piper out there, and kind of fun to watch him interact.
So, Media Day, that is Wednesday.
Coming up Wednesday.
Okay.
And
it's Wednesday for Coach Stock. And Conference USA is going to go virtual again with Zoom. And Stock goes at 11 o'clock from 11 to 11:30, 11:45. And then zips down to our first Blue Raider Blitz spot, and that will be in Mount Juliet on Wednesday from noon to 1:30. So that all that cranks up this week as well. So we've got 4 stops this week: Mount Juliet, Shelbyville on Wednesday, Franklin and Nashville on Thursday.
And then next Wednesday,
then the train rolls into the Dimple next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday from 12 to 1:30 at Puckett's on the Square here in town. So if you're an MTSU alum, if you're an MTSU fan, hope to see y'all at that event. So,
yep.
Chip.
And,
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
No. Go
right ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask you.
Nothing.
You have nothing. Well, I have something. I saw a tweet from MTSU Athletics. I guess maybe it was on Friday. Join us Tuesday for a look back at Blue Raider history as host Chip Walters and at Chris Massaro AD chat with 6 former MT. I hate that. With 6 former Middle Tennessee State student athletes. Tuesday, July 20th, 12 o'clock noon. It'll be live on Twitter at MT Athletics. Tell me a little bit more about this, because I see some of the names. Raleigh Bishop, former baseball player, Nathaniel Claybrooks, who played football there and played at Maplewood, I believe. Former golfer
you are correct, sir.
Former golfer Jason Millard.
Millard.
Okay.
Yes.
Former wrestler and longtime Father Ryan wrestling coach Patrick Simpson. Women's basketball women's basketball player Jamie Thomas, and ex-Blue Raider Boogie Yates. Is this going to be like a panel discussion kind of thing, or are they each kind of one-on? Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, there'll be a little bit of both. It'll be panel, And, we did 2 or 3 of these last summer, and, kind of a look back, remembering some of the great folks that have been in the past, and I hope you guys can tune in tomorrow. It'll be on Facebook Live on the Blue Raider Athletics Facebook page. It's really fun to talk to some of these guys. I'll tell you, and you look at that group, and when I know I'm old, is I saw every one of them except Patrick Simpson play their sport at Middle. Now, Patrick Simpson, as you mentioned, is a wrestler. There are a ton of folks that had no idea that Middle had a wrestling program, and a really good one, in the mid to late 70s. It was short-lived, but Patrick Simpson was outstanding. And as you mentioned, longtime Father Ryan coach, and I think he's going to be joining us from some event in South Dakota.
North
tomorrow.
Dakota.
So
North Dakota.
In
Fargo.
North Dakota?
It's a national.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he will be there, and he'll be joining us on there. So it'll be kind of enlightening for a lot of folks to, kind of throw back, and talk about some of the good old days and some of the great players. And it's nice to kind of bring some of those names back in and see some smiles on their faces and where they think, maybe they didn't forget me around here.
That's awesome, particularly like you said with Pat Simpson, the former wrestler, because again, a lot of those guys are out and about across Tennessee and the Southeast in coaching roles and helping in that great sport. So that'll be some good stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. And again, it's you just go to Facebook Live if you're having lunch at your desk or whatever, or plan to have lunch at your desk. Just crank up the old Facebook page, Blue Raider Athletics, and we'll go for about an hour, somewhere right in there, and there'll be some panel discussion, like we said. Then we'll kind of break out a little bit with each one, kind of get a little more in depth with them, that kind of thing.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe a surprise or two along the way. You never know.
Hey,
that's called a tease.
We're here. We're here for surprises. We're here for surprises.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Chip, thanks so much for joining us, man. We appreciate your time as we do each and every Monday. We thank you for your efforts in being with us.
Not a problem, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, Chip Walters, voice of the Blue Raiders on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. When we come back, talk some ACC football with C.L. Brown of the Raleigh News and Observer. So stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
High school sports and beyond. It's on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you live from the Lee Company studio, 27 minutes past the hour here, and we are taking you home on this Monday evening. Happy to be doing that. If you're listening on WKOM 1017 FM, we appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or sm-tnsports.com, we appreciate you there as well. Make sure to comment. Let us know that you're watching and enjoying your time on the show today. We are excited to continue our college football preview segments, as today it's the Atlantic Coast Conference Coastal Division. And to help us, because
we need it,
we need all the help we can get, from the Raleigh News and Observer is C.L. Brown. Mr. Brown, how's it going?
Gentlemen, I'm doing well. Just ready for football to get into full steam, get this season going.
Are you really ready?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I cover North Carolina, and ever since the Orange Bowl, kind of on the heels of last year, there's just been a lot of excitement, and really kind of gets old talking about, you know, what may happen and expectations. You know what I mean? Although this is probably the most anticipated season in Chapel Hill in, you know, quite some time, you know, couple of decades at least. So, it would have been that way before the sanctions hit and Butch Davis's, you know, that final season he had. It would have been, that probably would have been the last time there was this much interest and this much hype surrounding Carolina football.
Well, and I guess a lot of that hype has to do with, as is the case so often, the quarterback. Sam Howell seems to be really rocketing up a lot of folks' boards for 22.
He should be. But the thing is, you know, Sam Howell is a really, I don't want to call him an introvert totally, but, you know, he sticks close to his family and his friends. He's not very charismatic. You're not going to see him, even with the name, image, and likeness passing. You know, I don't think he's going to take advantage of it in the same way that say, Miami De'Aaron King has taken advantage of it already. You know, like, he's just real kind of content to be in his own space in his own skin, and he doesn't really look for or seek out a lot of the fame and flash that comes with playing quarterback. So Carolina isn't really going to do a big Heisman campaign for him, although talent-wise and, potential trajectory-wise, he could have that kind of a season. But Carolina, there won't be any Sam Howell bobbleheads out there or anything like that.
Well, that's unfortunate. I was looking forward to getting one.
I'll tell you a funny story. As I was listening to George Plaster comes on before our show each Monday through Friday, 2 to 4, and he has Watson Brown as a co-host. Well, Watson calls Mac up, and it's pretty easy to do that when he's your brother.
Yeah, right.
So Mac Brown on the show, they're talking about Sam and his first real competition in the spring game, and after Watson said, "When did you know Sam was going to be the quarterback?" He goes, about 10 minutes into the spring game. And so after the game was over, Mac said, "My 8-year-old grandson come up and goes, 'So Sam's the starter, huh?'" So that's how much better he was on the field than anybody else North Carolina had, and they weren't expecting that. I mean, nobody expected Sam Howell to come in and be the guy, and he certainly has been. And now North Carolina finds himself as the favorite in the Coastal Division. Wouldn't you say, CL?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think when the actual ACC voting takes place, which ACC has their kickoff on Wednesday and Thursday, I think Carolina will edge out Miami. I say edge out. I think they will be in front of Miami. I don't know how close the voting will be, but I think pretty much between Carolina and Miami in the Coastal, and Carolina happens to have that game at home this year. And that will be a big game, and then they play Notre Dame 2 weeks after that. They have a bye week, then they play Notre Dame. Those will probably be the two pivotal games of Carolina's schedule this season.
The ACC should really make Notre Dame join the conference across the board, or kick them out in football. Yeah, I'm very grudgeful about that. C.L. Brown from the Raleigh News and Observer joining us. So, besides UNC and Miami, or Miami and UNC, depending, what do you expect out of the rest of the Coastal Division?
Well, I think Pittsburgh is going to be kind of one of those sneaky good teams. They don't have a lot of flash to them on offense, and that could end up being, what ultimately makes their season a huge success or even a failure. But they do return Kenny Pickett at quarterback, who is a rare fifth-year starter, thanks to, the waiver everybody got for COVID and eligibility. So he'll be back. They have a potentially kind of elite defense on that side, but they got to score points. Like they just haven't been able to produce a whole lot, or they weren't last year able to produce a whole lot offensively. But I think Pittsburgh could probably be a sneaky team. And then from there, I think it kind of drops off. Virginia Tech, I feel like are kind of, toss up. They'll be competitive, but I don't really see them getting over the hump. And I think Georgia Tech and Duke, Georgia Tech, I feel like, is rebuilding and trending upwards in their rebuild because it's already started. Duke, I kind of feel like, is regressing. David Cutcliffe has one of the toughest jobs to me in all of FCS football, and he's done a great job. But just this is when the cycle kind of, you can't sustain that. I don't think you can sustain that at Duke forever. So he's kind of in a valley right now with Duke's program.
Obviously, we've got a little interest in Georgia Tech around here between Shaq Mason from Columbia Central, having played there, and Dante Smith from Spring Hill, currently down there. I'm not sure how.
Brent Samaglia.
And Brent Samaglia transferred to Georgia Tech from UT. That's right. So we've got some pro Georgia Tech in the area. I'm not sure how dialed in you are on their personnel down there, CL, but certainly there's
not totally, but I think they might have the best, especially since Carolina's guys left, Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. I think Georgia Tech and Griggs and Mason may have the best running back duo, definitely in the Coastal, but probably in the ACC as a whole.
Mason's from Gallatin as well, so they've done a pretty good job recruiting up this way. CL, you mentioned Virginia Tech. Any heat on Justin Fuente yet? I don't think he's been what they expected when they grabbed him from Memphis.
Yeah, and I do think he's coming into this season. I do think he'll be kind of the proverbial coach on the hot seat, if I had to pick somebody. And strangely enough, I think Louisville and Scott Satterfield, it hadn't been a long marriage to begin with, but I feel like there's just kind of some comments he made last year and the flirtation, or at least when South Carolina's job came open, there was they weren't sure if he was telling the truth publicly in terms of his interest in that job and everything. And on the field, they just haven't had the big success either. So, that I think that leaves him vulnerable. So I think if things really turn sideways in Louisville, I think he could also be someone who might see himself without a job at the end of the year. I don't expect that to happen, but I think it's certainly in the field of play.
Justin Fuente, former Oklahoma City Yard Dogs quarterback of the AF2. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So random.
Well, he played his college ball at Murray State, which CL's been to once or twice in his OVC basketball covering days at the Courier-Journal up in Louisville. So a lot of local connections there. That's good stuff there, Chris, with the AF2 reference.
I for some reason I remember a lot of quarterbacks from back then.
It's a quarterback-driven game.
There you go.
As is the college game, like you said, CL. You mentioned De'Aaron King, obviously taking advantage of this NIL situation, but he's going to have to back it up on the field, I would think.
Oh, for sure. And one major question is just, how healthy he is coming off of that torn ACL in the bowl game against Oklahoma State. I mean, from all indications of how they've been talking about him, he's made a full recovery. But, until he's actually in that game action and really is under pressure and has to react and everything, I kind of feel like it's wait and see. But certainly, once upon a time in our lifetime, that ACL was pretty much a career ender.
Right.
And now, you see guys bounce back in 8 months and they're back to normal. So I do think the transfer they got from Oklahoma, Charleston Rambo, will be a big boost. Offensively, give King another weapon at receiver out there, and I think that I think they have to be better on the offensive line because last year they
going to say they were putrid on the offensive line last year.
Yeah, they allowed. I think they allowed the league worse. I know it was 30 sacks that they allowed, but
surely nobody allowed more, huh? Yeah. With a guy like a De'Aaron King who is so dynamic, you really hope that knee is 100%. He's ready to go out and really play to his full skill set for Miami.
Yeah, because when he was at his best, he was fun to watch. That's for sure.
Does anybody on this side have a chance to win the ACC?
I think so. I mean, it's all relative, right? Because Clemson, compared to past Clemson teams, are probably more vulnerable going into this year, than certainly the last 4 years. But obviously you still have to get past. You have to get over that hump mentally and on the scoreboard of beating Clemson. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there are enough teams who feel like, who are also viewing Clemson as kind of like they can be had this year. There's not quite that air of invincibility around them that Trevor Lawrence kind of the confidence of having him back there at quarterback kind of gave them. So we've all seen Dabo just been able to reload and replace and keep it moving, with that program right now. But I do think knowing that you have a guy who's not as experienced and talented as Trevor Lawrence, at least right now, he might end up being. But I think that there are some teams that feel like they can take the crown. So, and I do think the ACC as a whole might be a little bit deeper than it was, at least in the past couple of years. So it'll be fun to watch. I feel like I do think that maybe we will see a challenge to the crown this year.
And what's funny is while everybody else in the conference feels like, well, Trevor Lawrence is gone, Clemson probably feels like they saw enough out of DJ, and I'm not going to try his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. I think he got enough play last year that they feel pretty good about what he was able to get done in limited playing time.
Yeah, well, I mean, having to make that start at Notre Dame last year for him and the way that he played in a game that they certainly could have won, they were right there. I think that said enough. I think that proved enough to a lot of people that at least coming into this year, you didn't go in the spring Clemson wondering, okay, well, who's going to win out a quarterback battle and all this stuff. You already knew who was the heir apparent. And I think that being able to get that leg up and him going in and being a confident quarterback, I think that does bode well for them. But there's still going to be a lot of defensive coordinators, especially in the ACC, that says, prove it. Let's see what you can do. Let's see how you can put this together for a full schedule as opposed to, just having to parachute in for a couple of starts. So, and obviously it'll start with that kickoff game against Georgia. DJ Uiagalelei. Am I close, CJ? CL, I'm sorry. Actually, I was hoping y'all would help me. I'm not going to try it, man.
I think it's Uiagalelei. I'm going to stand on that until somebody tells me otherwise. CL Brown with the Raleigh News and Observer joining us here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports today. CL, appreciate you taking some time with us.
Always appreciate you guys having me.
It's Uiagalelei. Uiang. There's an N, just like Tagovailoa.
There's no N in there.
Well, there's no N in Tagovailoa either, but there is. There's no S or H in Shashevsky either, but here we are.
CL, have a good rest of your Monday evening, man.
He's gone.
Is he gone?
Oh, man. Yeah.
So it's
Uiagalelei. Lele. Uiagalelei.
Lele. Okay. I'm not going to argue. That's
the emphasis on ang and lay. Uiagalelei.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right.
To all of the ACC play-by-play announcers.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to spell it.
Yeah. Good luck to you guys. I got nothing. When we come back, NHL and Monday Night Football news. Should be fun. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day returns to the Lee Company studio right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as awarded by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low, low price of another $1, You can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Welcome back to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, the sports talk show you've always wanted.
Welcome back into the show. 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you from the Lee Company studio. We're almost there. One segment to go, and Monday will be done. Dunzo. See you later, alligator. What y'all got going on tonight? It's Monday night. Y'all watching Raw?
I feel bad for anybody who does.
Is Monday Night Nitro still on? Go Sting.
I mean, hey, Sting's on AEW on Wednesdays.
Yeah, but he's like 84 years old.
Sting is still out there?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
The Stinger, man.
Yeah.
always one of my favorites. Big fan.
Hey, take it while you can get it.
Well, so no wrestling tonight.
I mean, maybe. John Cena returned to WWE last night.
Did he really?
Yeah, after being gone for a couple of years doing movies and stuff, and fans were actually excited to see him for once.
He's still a heel, though, right?
No.
Oh, is he a good guy now?
Yeah, he's turned face.
He's always been half hated by the older people and then loved by the kids.
Okay.
But last night, everyone was happy to see him, so.
Wait. They could see him?
Oh, my God. There's actually a little tidbit on commentary.
You can't see me.
There's actually a tidbit on commentary. Pat McAfee, when
Pat McAfee.
Michael Cole was like, "It's John Cena," and Pat McAfee was like, "Where?"
That's so good. I love McAfee. If there's anybody who is primed for that role,
it's Pat McAfee.
It's Pat McAfee. I mean, he can only do pay-per-views, though. I don't think you could put him on network television.
Wow.
Although after a certain time at night on cable,
It
it's
doesn't matter, yeah.
the regulations are pretty relaxed.
A little less.
Yes.
Huh. So before we get into what we're going to get into, I just came across something on Twitter here, scrolling through as I am wont to do, from @Dan Murphy, ESPN. The NCAA spent $68 million on legal counsel in the 1920 fiscal year. 10 of its employees made more than $500,000. with President Mark Emmert topping that list with $2.9 million.
Jesus. Non-profit.
Yeah, and it's a it was a retweet, and just that quick, I lost it because somebody mentioned about how the transfer portal is going to be the ruination of college. Yeah, Richard Deitch from Sports Illustrated. Man, that transfer market is going to ruin college sports with all its chaos.
I agree.
Well, that was completely tongue in cheek.
Oh, without question.
And look, nobody in the NCAA office needs to be earning that much money,
Especially not for what they're doing.
So
or not doing.
That's frustrating.
Yeah,
no doubt. I understand. I mean, it's frustrating. It is what it is. And Mark Emmert,
least of all,
securing the bag while doing nothing but getting yelled at all the time. He and Roger Goodell, they just embrace the booze.
Well, that's worth the salary sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's worth $2.9 million.
They'd have to pay me
To
that
accept,
to get what
yeah,
he gets.
to accept all of the booze, as you call it.
That was one of the funniest things about watching the first round of the MLB draft last Sunday was Manfred getting booed as soon as they saw him coming out. Just
it's a rite of passage for any commissioner of a sports brand.
Yeah, but Rob Manfred
Gets
is the worst.
yeah,
you think so?
He's the worst. He's the worst commissioner in the history of
but does he
professional
get
sports.
the worst coverage from the fans? Is he the most hated?
I think so.
He should
More hated
be.
than Goodell?
Yes. I think it's just become
I
kind
think they're
of
hated for different reasons. I think Manfred, I don't even know if Manfred likes baseball.
that he doesn't. I mean, he's a negotiator investment guy, like from Vegas. Like he's not at all
not
a
a
baseball
fan.
guy. And if you're not a baseball guy, you can't.
Well, he's not there to be a fan. He's there to make the Major League Baseball more money.
But you
It's the
can't.
only reason they brought him in.
And yet he's not doing that. The problem with that is that he has made the game worse, which in turn has driven away
A lot of fans.
most of the fans.
Which in turn impacts your bottom line. So, anyway.
DH is coming.
Yeah, I know.
Doubleheader 7 innings is gone.
Mhm.
The base runner is gone.
Those were
And they may
those
do
were
something
COVID.
with the shift.
Those were COVID rules.
Yeah.
No.
At least that's what they're saying now.
The ITB rule was put in place by COVID, but rest assured they wanted to see if it would speed up the game.
Well, sure. I mean, it was the perfect opportunity to try something.
Oh, yeah, it was a perfect
in the
opportunity
name
to
of
try
COVID.
a lot of things. Yeah, yeah.
And listen, you got to give them credit that they're going back because it didn't work. They're willing to admit that it didn't work.
Again, it's easier to admit it didn't work when you only did it because of COVID.
Well, but still,
You can't. It's nobody's going to say, "Well, we were wrong."
you know how stubborn these leagues are.
Oh, without question.
You know how
So-
stubborn these leagues are. They're never going to admit they're wrong.
Yeah. We need to get into the NHL for one. Any names that were not protected that you were surprised at, Lawson? I know Yonkirk, obviously. We were a little surprised by that.
I'd need to take a look at the list real quick.
Well, you've only had 2 hours
That's true.
to know this was coming.
Yeah, as soon as NHL/Preds went up on the run of show, while he's doing that, why don't you hit on your other?
Yeah, let's hit on this real quick. Monday Night Football is the MegaCast deals where they've got the Sky Cams from like the national championship and whatnot. So Monday Night Football is going to have an additional broadcast 10 times this year.
Oh, wow.
It will be hosted by Peyton and Eli Manning.
Okay.
That's going to be silly. I just watched Peyton and Cooper on that
College Bowl?
College Bowl.
I'd like
last
to see
night.
that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I think I always, you know what? I always wanted to be on the Knowledge Bowl, and I was never asked to be on it. I
You
was
know
always
why?
hurt by that.
No.
You know, I know why.
They're goofy.
Yeah.
Peyton and Cooper are just
Of course they are. Yeah.
The bad thing is that Peyton's jokes, you can tell the jokes are scripted on there because Peyton is just not a. He is very much.
Save from that SNL appearance that he made, he's stiff.
And I think this will be okay because they're actually going to come to you from remote locations. They're going to have guests come in who are former players, current players. They're going to have all this, basically they're just going to be sitting on their couch watching the game, talking about it. And that's going to be cool.
Oh, like we do.
Yes. It's exactly, but they're going to be.
Will there be snacks?
I'm certain there will be snacks. I can't imagine there wouldn't be.
Will there be beverages?
So it's perfect. I mean, it's going to be really cool. And I'm excited to at least watch the first one just to see.
I would watch it.
That'll be
But I'm always fascinated when they have those mega casts for the national championship game. I'm surfing around. Now, I'm a production guy, television, so I'm curious
you watch
how
it
they execute it.
differently.
Probably so. But
I'd like to watch a game with you sometime.
Okay, we can do
if
that.
If I could do it without having to drive to Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, we could. We could meet in the middle, beneath that old Georgia pine.
You want to go to his house because when he's got the Traeger out, it's worth it.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you find any names?
Yeah, I found everything.
We stalled for you.
So the names that I was surprised that they protected, obviously, was their new acquisition, Philippe Myers.
You were surprised because you were surprised he was there, right?
Yeah, I was surprised he was there. I mean, I just looked up at him. He's 24 years old. He's a young defenseman. I guess probably trying to go for that youth movement. But the player that I am surprised they did not protect was Nick Cousins, because he was actually one of the better players this past season, which
I guess the thing is they can only lose one, right?
Yeah.
They can only lose one. You can only protect 8 skaters. You're supposed to do 4 and 4 per the rules. The Preds did 3 and 5.
Are you? Well, I mean,
the rule says 4 and 4, but it's
well.
not,
How did they get away with 5
not,
and 3 then? Yeah,
it's not really as.
It's more guideline than a rule.
Yeah, it's more guideline. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, once they lose Kelly Arncroc, that's all they're going to lose.
Which is unfortunate. I did see somebody said package the second rounder with Johansson or Duchesne that we just got, the second round pick we just got from Ellis trade. Mm-hmm. Package that and try to send them up there just to get rid of the contract.
That's always something that's possible.
Yeah, clearly they want to get rid of one of those contracts, and understandably so. But if that doesn't work, I would just think Yarncroc is going to be the most likely. Most serviceable for Seattle.
Or Cousins.
From what David Poyle said earlier, I don't know if it was today or recently, he said that Matt Duchesne has he's going to have a lot of responsibility this next season. So that tells me that he expects Duchesne to be back next season.
Is Shea? Are the Preds going to get Shea Weber's contract to keep him on long-term IL?
I don't know.
That's insane. That's something to keep an eye on. We'll talk about it more. Tomorrow, back 4 o'clock, following George Plaster at 2. Listen to George at 2. Stay here from 4 to 6 on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Check out sm-tnsports.com for all the latest and most comprehensive prep sports coverage in Southern Middle Tennessee. That's sm-tnsports.com. At sm_tnsports on Twitter for Hall of Famer Mo Patton and JP Plant on the controls. Lawson Smith, the intern. I'm Chris Yow, saying have a great day and stay cool, Columbia.
This is Eli Gold, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.